High-level military talks between India and China failed to break a standoff over a deadly border clash in the Himalayan Mountains. At least 20 Indian soldiers are dead. Indian media reports it's the first loss of life in border clashes in at least 45 years. Under a note agreement between the two countries, no shots are to be fired at the border. An Indian official told the BBC there were 55 Indians against 300 Chinese. He said, quote, "They hit our boys on the head with metal batons wrapped in barbed wire. Our boys fought with bare hands." In a TV address to the nation, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the soldiers' deaths will not be in vain.
I want to assure the nation that the sacrifice of our soldiers will not go to waste. For us, the integrity of India and sovereignty is at the top, and nobody can stop us from protecting them. Nobody should have an illusion or doubt in this matter.
The Chinese side has not released the number of deaths. Angry sentiments against China are high in India, and calls to boycott China-made products are erupting across the country. Tensions at the border went up in May when China surprised India by deploying troops to disputed areas. It's unclear why Beijing did it. But China affairs commentator Lan Shu told us it's a common tactic Beijing uses. It creates small border clashes when faced with domestic or international pressure, shifting focus away from the CCP's wrongdoings.
The India-China issue is a historical issue. The issue has already existed for a very long time. But why does it break out now? It is because when the Chinese Communist Party is in trouble, it needs to find an enemy from abroad, so as to shift the focus from its domestic problems. Its main purpose is to transfer the focus of Chinese society.
Examples include China announcing war against Vietnam in 1979. At that time, the regime was in deep political and economic crisis after the Cultural Revolution. Beijing also ramped up anti-Japan propaganda in 2012 when current communist leader Xi Jinping was about to take power and internal party struggle was tense. Beijing is currently facing a potential second wave of the virus outbreak and a struggling economy.
The conflict may escalate, but whether it will indeed lead to a war, that depends on how deep the conflict is inside China, because the domestic conflict involves the stability of the communist rule. If the CCP cannot solve the domestic problem it is facing, it may create larger-scale conflicts. This is possible.
China is also stepping up its activity near Taiwan. On Wednesday, Chinese aircraft entered Taiwan's air defense identification zone for the fourth time in 9 days. Meanwhile, Japan reported that Chinese government ships have recently been seen moving near disputed islands in the East China Sea. Japan had protested to China and vowed to respond. Penny Zhou, NTD News.